Hi, this is Peter with CalcBook, and today we're going to be looking at a Glulam beam design, and specifically looking at what we use when we have a southern pine material type. So, just a quick recap on our design approach here. We use the National Design Specification, also known as the NDS. We are using the NDS Spec 2018, which has the spec and the spec supplement. So the spec gives you your design procedure, capacity equations, general adjustment factors, things like that. So you can design for your flexure, your shear, deflection, compression, and then your combined loading. We also have the supplement, right? And that gives us all of our reference design values, different shape properties, and additional adjustment factors specific to that species. So for us today, right, we're going to be looking at a beam. So we'll be looking at flexure, shear, and deflection. And we'll be using the table 5A in the supplement for our Glulam reference design values. And one thing just to point out about Glulams, right, we have this new sort of factor here, adjustment factor, C sub V, the volume factor. And just want to point out that this does not get applied simultaneously with the stability factor, C sub L. So we calculate both, and then we take whichever one is lower, and we use that as part of our adjustment design equation. So just wanted to keep that in mind as we go through the design. So our problem statement for today, we are looking at a Glulam beam. It has a span of 20 feet. We are going to be using a width of 5.5 inches, and we'll be sizing the depth of the beam required for the load. We're going to be using a 24F-V8, and that's going to be a southern pine layup, so SP/SP. Dry service condition, the compression edge is fully braced. And we have ASD loading. And we have a different sort of type of loading here. We have a dead load of 750 pounds per foot, and that's from 5 feet to 15 feet, so kind of the middle section of the beam. And then we have equal and opposite point loads of earthquake loads, so 2.5 kips, plus and minus it to the each end of the dead load distributed load. So maybe we have a piece of equipment here with a dead load and an overturning force, right? And we're trying to figure out what that does to our supporting beam. So we're going to be determining what the smallest depth Glulam is to resist the applied loading. So let's go ahead and open up CalcBook, and we'll get started on the design. All right, we've got CalcBook open now, so we're going to click into our NDS 2018 timber design. Go ahead and click on our member design, and then for this, we're going to be wanting to select Flexure Design and then Shear Design, both in the strong direction. So we'll go ahead and define our shape, right? We have Glulam Western, and we also have Glulam Southern Pine, because they have different values. So we'll go with the Southern Pine selection here. Our layup, we said, was a 24F-V8, so we will scroll down to get to that. And then our size, right, there's actually two different size tables, one for Southern Pine and one for Douglas Fir for Westerns. So make sure when you're looking at your beam design, or you're selecting your type, make sure you look at those different tables. It's 1C and 1D, I believe, in the supplement, so just make sure you look at that. So for us, we want a 5.5 inch wide, so we'll scroll down here to get to 5.5. And then we said we are going to be, designing the depth. So we'll start with a 9.25, so 6x10 size roughly, and we'll see where that gets us. So for earthquake loading, right, we have can change our time effect factor, but we actually want to switch to ASD because that's what we said we were going to do. So let's go over to ASD. And since we do have earthquake loading, right, we can take advantage of that with this 1.6, since it's a sort of an impact, it's a temporary load. So we'll go ahead and up that to 1.6. And then we will go over to our beam loading. So our beam is 20 feet long. We are going to set our shear analysis at 0, and our moment analysis, it might adjust a little bit with the overturning forces, but let's enter in the middle for right now. We'll come back and we can adjust that if needed. So let's go ahead and enter in our dead load, right? This is going to be a partial uniform load, and it's going to be 0.75 kip per feet, starting at 5 feet and ending at 15 feet. And we'll go save there. And then we're going to go ahead and enter in our earthquake loads. So we go down to our seismic load. We have 2-point loads. So we have a positive point load. We could put this in either direction, but we're going to go 2.5 here positive, and that's going to be at 5 feet, so at the beginning of the distributed load. So we see that it's loaded up there. And then we are also going to add another seismic load, point load of minus 2.5 kips, and that's going to be at 15 feet. So equal and opposite, right, overturning effects. Maybe we have a big HVAC unit or something on top of the roof here that would cause this sort of overturning load. So we can take a look here. We're probably going to be controlled by D plus 0.7e. So we can take a look at our shear diagram and our moment diagram and our deflection diagram. So our moment, right, it's a little bit different because of that overturning force. So we are going to be offset here for our maximum moment. Looks like right around 8.83 feet. It's about where it maxes out. So we'll go ahead and just update our analysis location to 8.83 and 8.83 for deflection as well. All right, so we've got that figured out. We can go and click over to deflection. Right, our modification factor for creep, our K sub CR, I believe this stays as 1.5 for Glulam in dry conditions, so we will leave that as is. We are over by quite a bit, so we'll have to come back and update that. Right, but just remember you increase that deflection on your dead load for the long-term deflection, so we get that on our dead load case here. So we'll head over to Flexure Design. Our length of bending between member points is going to be 20 feet between points of 0 moment. It's not curved. Our buckling length we said is fully braced. So we're over by about 16% here, right, on that D plus 0.7e, so we'll need to come back and update that as well, right? But just as a reminder, we can step into our calculation here, right? Our load duration factor of 1.6. No issues with moisture, so that's going to be 1. Same with temperature is 1. We have our volume factor, which you have to calculate. And then we also need to calculate our beam stability factor, which is 1 because it's fully braced. And so then we can calculate our adjusted bending strength, which gets us 3840 psi and a DC of 1.6. So we can step over to our shear design, just check that. Right, our reduction factor for CVR does not apply for this case because we are supported. We don't have any of these conditions, so we just leave that as 1. And we will not check end bearing for this calculation. So pretty straightforward on the shear calculation, and we have a DC of 0.29, so no issues there. So the biggest issue, right, is our deflection, and we are also slightly over on our flexure design. So we'll just go back and update our depth here. I think it's probably going to be closer to maybe 14 or 18 inches. So 14 looks like it puts our bending way down. That looks good. And then if we want to check on our deflection, we're still over a little bit, so we'll size up. We can go to a 16 maybe. That'll get us over. And that looks like it did it. So we might be able to optimize a little bit more, but a 5.5 by 16 inch deep Glulam works. So that is a Southern Pine Glulam beam in CalcBook. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have questions or suggestions for other videos, please let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.